What's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Today I'm coming to y'all with a requested piece about 4 lessons we can learn from, and I hope you guys walk away from this with some knowledge that you can apply to yourself and add to your situation, man. Now, usually when I do a segment of 4 lessons we can learn from, it's normally based on a person that has passed away. And I'll give you 4 lessons on how not to make the same mistakes he or she did, right? The lessons usually come from the negative aspects from the individual, and I try to point it out and drop a few gems where we can learn from together and move a little different to prevent the outcome of death. But this one is a little different. On this segment of 4 lessons we can learn from, it comes from a positive aspect because this guy is still alive and has progressed through all the deaths surrounding him and even legal troubles he's went throughout his life. The individual I'm talking about is none other than your boy JHE Rooga. Alright? As we all know, the mob scrap gang representative, MLB scrap gang representative, has been through it all. Whether it's beef, his friends getting killed all around him, alleged robberies, and so forth. With all that said, through it all, the pain amongst some of the people he started with that's now gone, Rooga remains here with us today. He's making good music, flashing money when he wants to, and he look like he's doing good. And he don't seem to be the typical drill rapper. He got the mystery aura around him where I like personally. He looks and sounds like he about his business, but he also seems like he's smarter than the average drill rapper, like sort of like a smooth criminal, you see what I'm saying? So today, I decided to construct 4 lessons that we can learn from about him, being that he appeared successful in generating a stable income off music to provide for him and his family, and actually making good music, not needing to always diss someone and all of his ops, because you know most of the songs that these guys put out is to diss their ops, and they know that they're going to get some type of traction from it, so they just do it. You see what I'm saying? Some don't really be prepared for the outcome, but that's a whole nother story. Most importantly, he's been staying alive. Alright, it's seen that these days, especially in Chicago, that's a full-time job to stay alive, and we love to celebrate those that aren't here. So I'm gonna change that. I feel it's also important to celebrate those that are here as well, and give them their flowers while they can still smell them. We all know as soon as someone passes away, here comes all the, oh, he was a great person, he was so talented and successful, all he did was provide for his friends and family. Listen, cut that. You see what I'm saying? We gotta give these guys their flowers while they still here. We gotta let them know that it's okay, that we appreciate them, that we celebrate them. Alright, so without prolonging this any further, we're gonna jump straight into the 4 lessons we can learn from MLB Scrap Gang's own JHE Rooga. Now, starting off with lesson number 1. Stay out the way. Staying out the way. One thing I notice about Rooga, whether you see him on live, in the studio, he's not always around a bunch of people. He seems like he's home around his family, driving a car by himself, or sometimes he occasionally with a girl. I feel this is important because it eliminates the chances of anything happening to you. Alright? If you're around a bunch of people, always in the field 24/7, and just not doing anything constructive, then something destructive is bound to happen to you. Let's be real. Now, I always tell my friends, after getting locked up, I had to reevaluate my own life, and I came up with this theory. The law of probability. Right? Now, the law of probability basically has to do with a percentage. So now think about this. We got 365 days in a year, right? So if you think you're going to commit crimes 365 days or even 200 days out the year and not get caught at least once, or lacking or whatever, at least once, something's wrong with you. Don't let that go over your head. My advice, stay out the way. It's okay to tell a fella sometime, yo, I'm staying in the crib today. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, rest in peace Scrap, which was Rooga's brother. Rooga said in an interview that the day Scrap got killed, as he was walking out the house, he told him, yo, you just got shot, bro, not too long ago. Stay in the crib for a little bit. You don't gotta go outside all the time. And he said he was still healing. And guess what? Sure enough, that same day he was murdered. So like I said, stay out the way, y'all. Find something constructive to do with yourself before something destructive happens to you. Don't get caught up in the hood. Remember, the objective is to make it out, not become a statistic. So staying out the way to me is the best advice I could give someone out there in the street, and that's one thing we could also learn from Rooga. We don't see him as much, and when we do, like I said, he's either on live, he in the crib with his family sometimes, he in the car driving by himself, he do with people. I'm not saying stay away from the guys completely, but just know when to say no. It's okay to say no sometimes. It's okay to stay away. It's okay to do what you want to do. Alright, that was lesson number 1. Now, on to lesson number 2. reinvent yourself. This one is important. All right, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Rooga from 2 years ago don't sound like Rooga from today. Not only that, when it comes to the music, but some of us go through life and get hit with all kind of obstacles, whether it's financial turmoil, feeling like what you're doing isn't working, wife cheating on you, friends turning their back, and last but not least, death. Last but not least, death. One that particularly Rooga has seen way too much, from his brother dying, a close associate named Dusky, or another, who else? Oh yeah, another one, FBG Duck, my fault y'all, FBG Duck, who recently passed. Now, Rooga has been losing people around him back to back to back, but it hasn't stopped him. And you could take Lloyd Banks' situation for an example. He said when he lost his father, he didn't know what to do. You see what I'm saying? He lost his whole passion for music. And that's when he decided to fall back and we stopped hearing from him. And this is when Lloyd Banks was in his prime. It's when G-Unit was at the top. We all remember that. So that goes to show you, as a prime example, that everyone can't cope with death the same way. Some people actually commit suicide after their close friends or close family member dies. So I say that to say this: everyone can go through life obstacles and make it out and continue living life regularly. So like I said before, we got to give people their roses while they're here. Just because we see them and they may look unfazed, don't mean that they are. You don't know what type of trauma a man has in his head after death. You don't know what type of emotions he or she is going through, but have to smile, because if you don't, you'll be considered weak. It's real. So when it comes to reinventing yourself, I think Rooga has done a great job in doing so. After every death, it seems like the music he got stronger. He don't have to just talk about ops, because his real life is real enough for all of us to feel his pain. And it's not like the typical artist, because we know what he's saying is true. We see it. Also, watch out for the friends or family members that expect you to stay the same. All right, that's big. Like, they say things like, "Oh, you changed," or "Oh, you got a little money, you acting funny." You damn right I am. You damn right then. Because people like that are designed to keep you stuck. People don't work hard, sacrifice their money and time only to get rewarded and stay the same. Nah, that's not how it works. A broke you is not going to do the same thing that the rich you would do. The broke you is not going to have the same time that the rich you doesn't have. You see what I'm saying? And that's a bad mentality to have, man. Like, when you go through things, if you don't grow through them, you'll remain stagnant. You'll remain stuck. And to me, that's the equivalent of being dead. You're just living dead because you aren't doing anything with yourself. You're just here. So remember, y'all, reinvent yourself no matter what you go through. Don't let them see you sweat. When things get rough, reevaluate life, see what you're dealing with, then come back out on top. All right, so now moving forward to lesson number 3. This is this is another big one, man. You don't gotta prove yourself, right? Lesson number 3: you do not have to prove yourself. I'm gonna say it again: you do not have to prove yourself. Now, this is actually one of the traits I like about Rooga the most. He's a mystery. Unless you really in the know, or the folks, and you really know what's going on, you can't tell me one person that Rooga allegedly killed or allegedly so much as shot at. That's the best way to do it. That sets him apart from a lot of other guys, and to me, it's the smartest way to move. It keeps the feds and police out your way, for one, and for two, all you're doing is helping indict yourself when you do that. Now, let's be real, as a fan, when you hear someone you listen to that you like talk about them catching bodies and naming names and whatever, of course for us it's entertaining. Negativity sells, right? But for the artist, it's not, bro. It's not smart. All you're doing is helping to further a case on you and just laying down the foundation to make the police job a little bit easier. And let me tell you, you know why the mob was so successful? Because you knew of them and you knew what they did, but you barely seen them. You barely. Matter of fact, look, the loudest mobster was John Gotti, right? And the other mobsters hated him for that. They hated him. They wanted that man dead for that, bro. They're not into that. But at the same time, the mob has been held responsible for thousands of murders. You see what I'm saying? They are solely held responsible for thousands and thousands and thousands of murders But guess what? You don't hear them talking about it. You don't hear nothing about them. They stay in the back. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. You had mobsters that got caught, and you got some that to this day haven't got caught. So all I'm saying is, be smart, y'all. You don't gotta prove yourself. Sometimes the mystery says enough about you. Know what I mean? When you see a dude, like, you ain't gotta know a dude getting money. I mean, you ain't gotta know somebody getting money for you to see them in the Benz, for you to see him in one of these crazy cars, for you to be like, oh, he not getting money. You think you gonna say that? You think you gonna see a dude in the Benz and you think you gonna say, yo, he not getting money? If you do, you just a hater. But guess what? That Benz speak for itself. That Benz lets you know that boy doing something right. Alright, so like I said, man, first hands, I can tell you from being in the streets, matter of fact, if a dude gonna yell and scream and make a scene about something that he's gonna do, 9 times out of 10, he's not. You see what I'm saying? And we all know that the loudest one in the room is usually the weakest, man. It's usually the quiet ones that you gotta watch out for. Let's be real. Most of the guys that I know that did time for either murder or attempted murder or assault or whatever it is, those are the most humble and mannerable people I've met in my life, bro. Most guys that put in that work don't want you to know that they did that. All right, and you know what? Let me tell you what's crazy. It's just like women that tell you they're crazy. You know they're not, because the ones that are really crazy don't want you to know that. Another example: fake rich dudes that act like they up. The people who really got money are spending their time trying to convince you that they don't. Meanwhile, the ones that don't have it, they're trying to convince you that they do. It's a weird complex, man, but it is what it is. I feel Rooga has enough people around him that actually are about that life that we know. And that should be enough validation, because talking how he talk, I doubt they'll be around him if they feel he a fraud. Let's be real. So I think we all could agree that, you know, even though you may not know much about boy, you know that he's standing on business of some sort in some way, because he's been talking enough about it and no one pulled his card or nothing came out that proves otherwise. Alright? So now that you got that understanding, let's move on to the next one. Last but not least, lesson number 4. Be yourself. This is probably one of the biggest ones as well. Be yourself. Number 4, lesson number 4. Be yourself, please. Now, I've seen some lives where, like Instagram lives, where Rooga is having fun, joking around, doing what he like to do. And as a small lesson, as this scene is absolutely a big one. Mainly because some people get peer pressure into being who they are, into doing what they do. They don't do it, it's not genuine, it's not from the heart. Like, you ever seen someone in a video or song talking tough, acting tough, throwing money, when you know damn well they just asked you to borrow some money? And you just sit there like, come on, bro, that's not you. That's not you. And sadly, a lot of times people die for attracting that energy that isn't really them. What people don't understand is this: if you get money, stay in your lane. If you're a ladies' man, then you're a ladies' man, stay in your lane. The minute you're not really like that, but then you put this front on like you are, what you're doing is attracting that energy to you. That's all it is. The universe is attracting that same energy to you. And guess what? It's coming. You talk about all them guns you don't have, but then you attracted problems with someone who really do, and now you calling on your boys looking for help, or you hiding in the house. Come on, man. One thing I could say about Rooga that shows a lot of leadership qualities in him is that he never looked too bothered. He isn't afraid to tell a joke or play around with his guys or look silly, because he know what he could do. He know what you see what I'm saying? When you sure of yourself, man, listen, you can't tell somebody about themselves. You can't tell me that I ain't gonna do this to you because I'm sitting here joking around. Boy, stop playing with me. You see what I'm saying? Your boy Rooga taking trips to Miami, living life, doing things he like to do. Not me mugging or showing a gun every time a camera rolling or telling you who he going to kill. And man, stop it. Be yourself, know yourself. It'll save you a whole lot of headache and trouble in the long run, trust me. You got a lot of people getting tricked into doing crimes or just stupid stuff, period, that they wouldn't normally do or that they don't even want to do. They'd rather go play basketball, play baseball, or rather go do a podcast, go play games, or something that just isn't cool to their friends, and then bam, they're in the courtroom fighting for their life over something that they had no business doing, or that they didn't even want to do in the first place. Alright, so be smart, y'all. Be yourself, know yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. And pretty much that's it. So now let's recap the 4 lessons we just went through. Lesson number 1 was stay out the way. Lesson number 2 was reinvent yourself. Lesson number 3 was you don't gotta prove yourself. And lesson number 4 was be yourself, know yourself. Alright, now understand that I mainly did this video because I wanted to do something different. I feel we don't give enough credit to the guys that are successful and living. But as soon as they die, we're quick to jump on here on YouTube and do a video on how he was this and that. Know what I mean? He was this, he was such a good. Come on, stop that. Stop that. You know what's crazy? What's crazy to me? A lot of people get more clout dead than alive. Don't y'all ever stop to think, yo, maybe if we would have gave this man that same clout, he wouldn't have been in the circumstance or situation that he was in because he would have been good? You ever stop and think that? You ever stop to think that the ones that are surviving need to hear good advice too? They need motivation. They need inspiration to keep going. You know why? Because a lot of times when us as black men, when we show emotion, that means we weak. You see what I mean? And to be honest, it's more dead guys out here that's getting clout, like I said before, and would have been successful if they were still alive than there is that people that are alive. Their streams go up after they die. They can't enjoy that. They say they give the proceeds to the family, but we don't know that. God bless the dead. Rest in peace, FBG Duck. His mother is sitting here telling you that the label is moving funny. Come on, man. So instead of always spreading negativity, man, I figured I'd be the first to try and make a change and start glorifying those that are alive as well, opposed to only speaking on the dead. Alright? If you learned something or anything from this video, y'all, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you agree or even disagree with anything I said, let me know in the comment box below as well. If there's anything you want me to talk about, anybody you want me to talk about, whether it's self-improvement, whether it's politics, no matter what it is, I talk about it all here, y'all. I told y'all this is a channel of awareness. We're not just based on one thing, all right? So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell so you're notified every time I drop new content. I'm about to start dropping a lot more content, y'all. Just let me know. I'm out. Bye.